Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to show you how to build a mangrove swamp starter house in Minecraft 1.19. Currently we are only in the snapshots for the wild update, but when it drops you may want to start a brand new world or possibly start fresh in your current world. A new feature of 1.19 is the beautiful mangrove swamp biome, which you may want to set up some sort of base inside of, and if that is the case then this build is perfect to get you started. Before we start the build, let's take a look at the materials list, which is what I have in front of me here. Now, just a quick side note, some of these blocks have been rounded up to the nearest stack, half stack or quarter stack, just to account for any possible miscounts or inaccuracies in the items needed. Usually I would use a mod to count all of the blocks required for the build, but we're in the snapshot, so I don't have that. Gotta do it by hand, and I want to make sure you guys are gonna have enough blocks to make this house. So on the top row here and partial of the bottom row, we have all of the mangrove blocks that we're going to be using. Of course, that's the main wood type, but we do have some others here in spruce, dark oak and oak. We then have the mud bricks and the regular bricks that we're going to be using, and then all of the items are virtually just the miscellaneous blocks that we need and all of the blocks that are going to be helpful in a survival situation. Once you've chosen a lovely location to make the build in, the first thing we're going to do is build the stilts the house is on top of, and to do that we need our mangrove logs, and we're just going to head under the water here and place in 4 just as I have. So this is going to be the front side of the house. That is 3 blocks long, same as the back, and then the 2 sides, the left and the right, are 5 blocks long. So go ahead and place all of those down, and you just want to bring them up until the water level here, plus an additional 1, 2 and 3. Now obviously depending on how deep the water is you're working in, it's going to be more or less logs, but hopefully the materials list should have you covered. Whilst we're down here, the next thing we need to do is just cover the bottom pillar up here with some mangrove trapdoors. This is just to add a bit of sturdiness to the bottom log here, and it's just a nice little detail to add in. And once we've got those placed down, we can then come up to the top level here and just stand on top of these logs carefully and not fall in. And we're going to connect them on all of the sides with some horizontal logs just like this. So that should be 5 on the longer sides and 3 on the shorter sides. What we can then do on all of the corner blocks here is just add 2 more coming off like that with a mangrove button on the front of it for an added bit of detail. And we want to do that on all 4 of the corners. So now we should have something that looks like this. The next thing we can do is grab some more mangrove logs, and on top of all of these blocks, the ones that are facing upwards, we're just going to place in 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on all 4 of the corners once again, just like that. And then at the front of the house as well as the back, we're just going to have 3 horizontal logs going across like so. Next up, we're going to grab some mangrove stairs, and we're going to come to the longer sides here, and we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stairs in line with the top blocks, and we're just going to go out by 1 on either side. We got some vines in the way here that I'm just going to get rid of because they're obstructing the build a little bit. And what we can do on this outer stair is add a mangrove trapdoor, and we're just going to alternate between a trapdoor and nothing until we get to the other side here. So there should be 5 underneath all of those stairs, and super quickly we can copy it around to this side too. Next up, we're going to come to the front of the house here, and on the back of these stairs we're going to have 2 upside down stairs, then a stripped mangrove log on top of those, then 2 more regular stairs, 2 more upside down stairs, and then another stripped log, and then finally a stair here, leaving us with 1 gap in the middle where we can then put another stair upside down just like that. And then at the top here we're just going to have a stair facing backwards with an upside down one off the front of that. And then we can go ahead and do the same around the back too. So exactly is how we just built the front. You want to copy it round to the back here just as I am. So lastly a stair here, 1 more in the middle, and then that little point at the top coming outwards. What we can then do is from this stair go in by 1, 2 and 3 on both of the sides, and then in the center here we just want to have a full mangrove plank. With the roof outline all done, we next up need to grab some more of our mangrove logs and just make a small correction at the front of the house here. We're just going to get rid of our buttons, extend the logs out by one and replace the buttons back down. What we can then do is carry on with our mangrove logs. We're just going to come up to this level here, and on the longer sides we're going to add in 5 horizontal logs going all the way across, similar as to what we've just done down on the bottom level. The next thing we can do is come to the right hand side of the roof, so looking at the front, come round to the right hand side, and then on this block right here and this one over here, so there should be 3 blocks in the middle, we're just going to add in 2 of those stripped mangrove logs. Then we're going to have 2 stairs on top of them, both facing outwards, with 2 upside down stairs off the back of them, a trapdoor on top of both of them, and then a stair in the middle, or a trapdoor, sorry, I should say. And on top of that trapdoor is where we're going to have the stair. On the back of that stair, we're going to have an upside down stair, so it should look like this, if I can avoid plummeting into the water. And then last but not least for this small section, we're just going to have a slab on top of that upside down stair. And now we're going to come round to the left hand side of the build on the roof section, and 1 block in line with this other log, we're going to have 2 stripped logs like that, and then another 2 here, and then we're going to have a mangrove stair in the middle. 2 mangrove trapdoors in front of those logs, and then we're just going to make a tiny little roof section for this window by having 2 stairs there, 1 in the middle, a trapdoor on top, and then an oak trapdoor as the actual window itself. Next to what we've just built here, we're going to make our chimney, and we're going to start by placing down 2 full brick blocks right there. Then we're going to have a brick stair with an upside down one off the back of it coming outwards. Then we're going to have a full block and another stair with another upside down stair coming off to the side, so that's going towards the front of the house. Then we're going to have another full block, then another stair and another upside down stair going back in towards the side of the house. 1 more full block on top, and then we just want to place our campfire on the top of that block, surrounded with spruce trapdoors to make our smoking chimney. I'll just do a quick walk around this chimney as it is a bit of a windy design, so I just want to make sure you guys got it built as I have here. So now we're going to fill in the roof with our mud bricks here. Starting on the right hand side of the build, we're going to place in 2 full blocks at the bottom, and next to the stairs we're going to have 2 mud brick stairs. Next to these next stripped logs, we're going to have 2 full blocks, and then we're just going to step inside, and then facing those, we're going to place in some upside down stairs. We're just doing this. It looks the same from the outside, but from the inside, it's going to make the ceiling look nice and smooth. The last thing we need to do is just add 3 of the mud brick stairs on either side like this. So from the outside, it should look nice and simple, and then from the inside, we should just have this, but obviously with those stairs. As for the other side over here, the first thing we're going to do is have 3 full blocks at the bottom with 3 stairs on top of it. Then we're going to have another full block next to both of those stripped logs, and we're just going to head inside once again and do a similar thing so we can smooth out the ceiling. So we're going to start as we did with this side with 2 of those stairs, but in the middle here we're going to have 3 forward facing stairs, so we kind of curve them round a little bit. It'll all look nice and neat when we actually do the interior. For now, just trust me that it's going to be absolutely fine. And of course, on top of those blocks, we're just going to add in some mud brick stairs. So that is the roof section pretty much all done. Now we're going to come down to the bottom level here, and we're just going to fill in this area with some of our stripped dark oak logs like that. This way we just have something to stand on, and it's going to make the building process a little bit easier. What we actually need to do next is take a quick dive into the water here, and underneath all of these mangrove logs we're going to place down some spruce trapdoors. So we're having 5 of those on either side, 3 at the front and then 3 at the back. Very simple, just like that. The last thing we're going to do for this clip is underneath all of these logs jutting outwards, we're going to have some mangrove fence gates opened up just so it kind of looks like it's supporting them and holding them up. Of course, if you don't like any of the details I'm adding in here, feel free to just skip over them, but I personally like that little touch. Now we're going to come to the front of the house here and get started on the deck. So the first thing we need to do is break this middle log and replace it with a mangrove plank and bring that out by 2 more blocks. Either side of it, we're going to have an upside down stair with a slab on the front of that. What we're then going to do is add some mangrove trapdoors underneath these full blocks here, and we're going to place some ladders on the front of them just so we have a way to access the base itself. So we're just going to place all of those down, bring them down to the bottom of the water there, just like that. Maybe even fill it in a little bit just so it looks a little bit better, and then we're going to place some ladders on the front of all of those going all the way up to the top level here. Now if you're not on Java edition, you probably won't be able to do this. It's not a feature on Bedrock, so I'm guessing it isn't on the others either. So what I would recommend is maybe put some logs down here, possibly on the side, and just have the ladder going up like that. Or even, very simply, just switch out the trapdoors here for full blocks, whatever you would prefer. Next up, you want to grab some brick walls, and we're just going to add in 1, 2 like that coming off of the logs. And we're going to place a flower pot on top of this block right here. In the middle here, we're going to have 3 mangrove fence gates, just like that. And then what we can do underneath this log, we're going to have a brick wall. And then we're going to have mangrove fences all the way down to the bottom of the water here until we're 1 block away, just like that. And then we're going to have a brick wall just for some more support pillars. And of course, we can do the same over here as well. Just line ourselves up, so right there, and then a bunch of fences going all the way up, connecting to the top. What we can then do, now we have our brick walls and mangrove fences on hand, we're going to come to the rest of these logs jutting outwards, and we're just going to add in a brick wall on top of all of those like that. And then on top of the brick wall, we're going to have 2 mangrove fences just connecting to the mangrove stairs above them. We can now get started on filling in all of the walls. So we're going to come to the front side here where we have our decking, and we're just going to have 3 full brick blocks just like that with an upside down stair in the center here. And we want to go ahead and place our mangrove door on the back of that mangrove plank, just like that. And then either side of the doorway here, we're going to have 3 mangrove fences. Actually, we're going to have 4 mangrove fences going up in line with those logs, where on top of them we can have some mangrove trapdoors, and then a mangrove slab in the middle, and underneath that slab we're going to have a chain and a lantern hanging down from below. As for this section above it, we're going to be placing in some barrels, but we actually need to place some of them in a specific way. So this bottom 3 we're going to place in upside down. So if you just stand down here, place 3 across like that, and you should find they're all upside down. We can also do the same for the next 2 on those 2 spots. But the one at the top here, we're actually going to place upright. So there should be the top of the barrel, and you should be able to see the regular underside of the barrel underneath. What we can then do is just swing back round to the outside here, and we're going to place in an oak trapdoor for our window. What we can then do very quickly is exactly the same round to the back here. Just like that. And then underneath, next to these upside down stairs, we're going to have some mangrove trapdoors. Then with some slabs on top of those trapdoors and a mangrove trapdoor next to the slab with a slab underneath that trapdoor. So we get this shape right here. What we can then do is come down to this 3x3 section and place in a brick stair in all 4 of the corners, just like that. And then on the sides, we're going to have some spruce trapdoors like that to make a nice circle. We can then hop inside, and next to all of the brick stairs, we're going to place in another spruce trapdoor. And then in these 5 blocks left remaining, we're going to have some oak trapdoors. So 3 like that, and then 2 here on either side. So from the inside it looks like this, and from the outside it looks like this. Now we can start work on the left hand side over here where we have our chimney, this bit right here. And the first thing we're going to do is actually step inside and place in 3 horizontal barrels next to both of those logs on the 2 sides, so that from the outside we have the back texture that we saw before. Then next to those barrels we're going to have 3 stripped mangrove logs just like that, and 1 horizontal at the top and 1 horizontal at the bottom. Then we just want to place in an oak trapdoor on top of this block, or underneath I should say. You can even leave it open like that or close it up, whatever you would prefer. Then we can come round to the other side here, and just on this block we're going to have a spruce slab 2 upside down stairs beside it, and then 2 fences on top of those stairs. And last but not least, a little lantern in the center. As for the other side round here, we're going to do a similar thing by placing in the barrels once again on both of the sides and the stripped mangrove logs beside it. We're not going to have one at the top, but we are going to have one at the bottom, and we're just going to place in 2 oak trapdoors flipped close like that. So from the outside, we should be flush with the logs. Then what we're going to do underneath those trapdoors is just have 3 coarse dirt, and we're going to cover that up with spruce trapdoors, 5 on the sides, 2 underneath, and a slab in the middle. And then we're going to hang that with some spruce fences. Let's just grab some from around here, and we're going to add in 2 like that. And last but not least, in the center here, we're going to have some kind of flower. I'm going to use the new mangrove propagule. I have no idea how to say this, actually. I've just realized. The propes. We're going to stick a prope there. With the prope placed down, we can start work on the balcony above, and we're going to start off by placing down 2 upside down spruce stairs just on the side of the roof outline like that. We're also going to have a spruce trapdoor in the middle here, and then we're going to make a 3x3 of some more trapdoors just on the block above, and then very simply we're going to go around with some oak trapdoors, crouching and placing them on the side of the spruce trapdoors, flip them all closed, and there we go, a super simple balcony. So that is the exterior of the house all done. We are now ready to head inside and start work on the interior. And the first thing we're going to do is shut the gate behind us, open the door, step inside, and we're going to grab some spruce trapdoors, and next to these logs on both of the sides, we're just going to add in 5 of them on the top part of the block. And then in between them, we're going to have some spruce slabs. What we can then do is actually go ahead and get rid of this trapdoor, because we're going to be having some ladders here just to the right of the doorway, and we're just going to place in those ladders, allowing us to get up to the top level here, where the next thing we're going to do is place down 2 barrels on top of those top barrels. We just want to place them in facing the same way, so upright instead of upside down, otherwise they don't connect all that well, as you can see. Just a tiny little detail that I prefer the look of. We're going to have a lantern in the center here with 2 mangrove trapdoors either side of it. Whilst we're up here, we may as well go ahead and furnish this top level. So the first thing we're going to do just in front of the ladder here is place down our bed. Any color, it's up to you. And then above it on these 2 blocks, we're just going to have a painting. You can cycle through until you get one that you like the look of. I think I like that one the best. And then to the side of it, we're actually going to place in some backwards facing looms. Now these not only are going to be helpful because you can actually use them if you want to make some banners, but if we cover the top up with some mangrove trapdoors, they kind of just look like a set of drawers beside the bed. And then if we turn around here, over in this corner, we're going to have a cartography table with a single chest just beside it. So now we can go down to the bottom level and fill this out. Now, obviously we have all of our storage in the wall already with these barrels. We have an extra chest upstairs, and we're also going to have one just to the right of this window. We're going to have a crafting table there with a stone cutter. I think it might actually look a little bit better if we put the stone cutter this side and the chest this side. Over on the other side here, we're going to have some furnaces. Now you could do all furnaces if you wanted to, but I think it's going to be smart if you maybe have a smoker and a blast furnace as well. Then you got some variety. And last but not least, the final thing to do on top of this furnace right here, we're just going to have a flower pot with something inside of it. So there we go, everybody. That's going to do it for today's tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.